Back at it again. I'm from DPL Surveillance Equipment. Very nice day today, you guys, in sunny Southern California, particularly Camarillo, California. We largely escaped the fires. We had a very small outbreak in a place called Santa Paula, which is probably 10 minutes away from here. But other than that, we've done very well in terms of avoiding these fire-related incidents so far. But our hearts do go out to the people who have not been so fortunate. So just want to acknowledge that. What else is going on, you guys? Lots of shuffling going on in the Trump administration. Looks like the chairs are indeed being shuffled around, and on the Titanic, the lawn chairs are being placed here and placed there, but it looks like they're definitely definitely on the Titanic, definitely headed for the iceberg, and so well, good luck with all the shuffling around of the various people getting fired and all of that. Just seems to be total chaos. But what can I tell you? There was a show called Get Smart a long time ago in the 70s or something. I think it was called Get Smart. It was this bumbling idiot he was like a spy or something. He stumbled his way in and out of solving crimes and such. But that was hilarious. But it was a I was going to say, because that was Hollywood and that was a movie script for that show, you can not worry so much about the implications of the consequences in terms of the seriousness of the matter actually hurting anyone. But in the real world, people do get hurt. Rhetoric coming out of the tweets and such, they do inspire people to be more hateful and vengeful. So I just want to make sure you guys understand, make sure you don't lose your compassion for your fellow brethren, because good morning, it's not right for people to cause so much disruption as far as the lives of people who are trying to help each other and lift each other up. The divisiveness is getting to the point where it's really starting to play out in terms of people actually hurting each other. That's when it goes too far. That's when it gets out of hand. So just make sure you guys understand that we don't need that to go on. And so, continue helping each other. Continue to understand that we're all connected. When there's national crisis, emergencies and such, that's when we really see the compassion come out. But there's nothing wrong with exercising that same compassion, and empathy 24/7, 365, okay? I just want to leave that with you, because we have an article, actually, a podcast, that talks about hate crimes, and we'll get into that in a moment. So anyway, my name is Monty Henry, owner of DPL Surveillance Equipment. We run a full-service surveillance and security equipment company. We have lifetime guarantees and warranties on all the products, 24/7, 365 tech sales and customer support. I think we have the largest inventory of items that not only can you buy, but you can rent or you can lay away as well. And we have the largest collection of articles, podcasts, blogs, demonstration videos that you're going to see pretty much on the internet. Definitely within the surveillance equipment business or industry, definitely. And I think they're high quality. I think a lot of people are getting a lot of good information out of the articles and the podcasts and the blogs and such. At least that's what they're telling me. I haven't paid anyone to tell me that in a long time, so hopefully it's true. But anyway, go there and check it out yourself. Some of the categories are very diverse in nature. We cover cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin. We cover health and fitness and economics and finance and cybersecurity, surveillance and counter-surveillance, terrorist and anti-terrorist technologies and products. We cover that as well. And then we accept Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and Bcash in our shopping cart. So your crypto millionaires, you want to leave some of that crypto wealth in our shopping cart on our website, and that way you can get your own state-of-the-art law enforcement grade products that are covered by the 24/7, 365 tech sales and customer support policy. What else? The website is newly redesigned, and check it out. Let me know what you think. We're adding lots of bells and whistles. I think we're adding a polling option, POLL, where we publish certain polls on the website, and we want to get your feedback. We want to get your comments and input on certain things. We've got a little poll going on there right now, just an experiment right now. But I think we're going to integrate that permanently into the website as soon as we get it a few kinks ironed out. So check that out. It should be listed amongst the articles and the other categories where the articles and things are. So just look for polls, and you'll see a collection of polls over the very near future. What else? We like to poke a finger in the eye of the fiat financial industry. Those bumbling idiots are falling apart completely. The breaches and the settlements and the disruption that they've caused to the economy. We're still seeing some companies. Their cases are still being resolved by the Department of Justice, FBI probes and such. I think UBS is one of the latest ones that's finally been finalized, still left over from 2008. So the damage that they've done, it's still being resolved, and that was a total mess, worth $1 trillion or so. But yeah, all of them are implicated. J.P. Morgan Chase, UBS, Citibank, Wells Fargo, HSBC, MasterCards and Visas, American Express, companies, Discover, you name it. All of the usual suspects, all of the usual names. They've committed every conceivable crime imaginable. Money laundering, spoofing, LIBOR, rate rigging, discriminatory loan practices. I think it's called nepotism or something, where you basically hire family members of certain, and just for the sake of getting favors or getting giving special treatment to certain family members of, wealthy Asians or Middle Easterners, so you name it. It goes on and on forever in terms of what they're doing at some of the banking institutions and investment houses and such. 1MDB scandal coming out of Malaysia. Looked like they're dragging Goldman Sachs into it. Goldman Sachs, Lloyd Blankstein is trying to distance himself from that fiasco, where the poor Malaysian citizens were taken for billions of dollars by various crooks and criminals, including those at Goldman Sachs. So you name it, we're covering it on the website. Lots of articles, very, very comprehensive, I think very thoroughly written. So go there and check it out as soon as possible. So yeah, as we make the bumpy transition over to Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, we're going to see exactly why we need to make that transition as quickly as possible, so we won't have to worry about being manipulated and financially oppressed, and the overprinting of the money and the quantitative easing and the rigged boom and bust cycles, engineered recessions and depressions. We want to get rid of all of that. So anyway, my name is Monty Henry, owner of DPL Surveillance Equipment. I run a full-service surveillance and security equipment company. And let's touch upon this article that we're going to get into today, because, as I mentioned early on, we are concerned about the divisiveness that's going on, particularly in the United States, where we got anti-Semitic incidents going on, like the latest killing at a Jewish synagogue, and we got even anti-Muslim and anti-black crimes going up through the roof, but nobody's talking about these numbers and how significant they are within the last year or so. This article is entitled Anti-Semitic Incidents Fuel 70% Rise in Hate Crimes, FBI says. Again, anti-Semitic incidents fuel 17% rise in hate crimes, FBI says. Crimes targeting Jews increased by 37% in 2017. Anti-Muslim crimes fell by 11%. Hate crimes rose 17% in 2017, the FBI said Tuesday, a jump that was partly driven by a spike in anti-Semitic incidents. The number of hate crime incidents targeting Jews increased 37% to 938 in 2017. Anti-Muslim crimes fell by 11% in 2017 to 273. Race or ethnic-based hate crimes jumped by 18% in 2017 to 4,131. Hate crimes targeting black people increased by 16% and were the most for any category of race, ethnic group, religion, or sexual orientation. Overall, the Federal Bureau of Investigation recorded 7,175 hate crimes in 2017, compared with 6,121 for the year before. The rise in total hate crimes is the biggest since 2001, when incidents rose to 9,730, a 21% increase. We are definitely at an inflection point, said Brian Levin, director of the Center for the Study of Hate and Extremism at California State University, San Bernardino. We have now risen to the highest level in about a decade. That is a cause for concern. Mr. Levin said a myriad of factors likely played a role in last year's increase in hate crimes, including social, political polarization, a rise in white nationalist activity, and the explosion of online speech on sites like 4chan and the social media site Gab. The report comes about 2 weeks after a man shot and killed 11 Jewish people inside a Pittsburgh synagogue. That suspect, who law enforcement officials said made anti-Semitic remarks when he was apprehended and targeted Jews on social media, is being tried for hate crimes. The FBI defines hate crimes as a criminal offense against a person or property motivated in whole or in part by an offender's bias against a race, religion, disability, sexual orientation, ethnicity, gender, or gender identity. The Anti-Defamation League said in a news release that efforts need to be redoubled to address the rise of hate crimes. This report provides further evidence that more must be done to address the divisive climate of hate in America, said Jonathan Greenblatt, CEO at ADL. That begins with leaders from all walks of life and from all sectors of society forcefully condemning anti-Semitism, bigotry, and hate whenever it occurs. The statistics are based on reporting from local and state law enforcement officials to the FBI. The number of law enforcement agencies that submitted incident reports in 2017 climbed by 6% to 6,141, or 149. The ADL said significant gaps in reporting remain. At least 91 cities with populations exceeding 100,000 either don't report any data to the FBI or actually report zero hate crimes. I think I pointed out in at least 2 articles on my website that the reporting from the local police departments to not only the FBI but the Justice Department, the Department for the Centers for Disease Control, there's a few agencies that depend upon these reports to give us the annual assessments of crime-related activities and such in the United States. And unfortunately, I have to tell you that the police departments, they're the first line of defense when it comes to gathering that information in the first place. And if they don't do a good job, and it seems like a lot of them are intentionally leaving out information when it comes to making these reports to the FBI and Justice Department and such, they don't want to paint a bad or negative picture in their particular jurisdictions. So what they do is they somehow leave out a lot of the activity, the crimes and the murders and the burglaries and the vandalism and the hate crimes, so that their communities actually look a lot better than they actually are. And believe it or not, like the FBI is saying, we can't provide these nationwide statistics if we don't get good, timely information to begin with. So I think it's about time to do away with the police departments overall and get some competition in there where we can actually have systems in place, technologies that automatically report crimes, good, bad, or indifferent. And then that way, when you want to move to an area, if you want to relocate your business, if you want to send your kids to school or college or whatever, you'll have accurate information so you can base your decision on it. Moving right along. It is incumbent on police departments, mayors, governors, and county officials across the country to tally hate crimes data and report it to the FBI, Mr. Greenblatt said. The FBI can only report what the data they receive. Hate crimes targeting victims because of their sexual orientation rose by 5% in 2017 to 1,130. Of 6,370 offenders where the offender's race was identified, 51% of those people were white and 21% were black. The race was unknown for 90% of those offenders. So it looks like somehow the police departments, probably your own local police department, is somehow forgetting to report the racial identity of the offenders. Again, this is not helping us, you guys. If whites are involved in hate crimes, just like if blacks or browns or anybody else were involved in hate crimes, we want that reported. We want that reported accurately. We want that reported in a timely manner. So again, this is another reason why we don't need to put up with these bundling idiots in these local police departments who think it's cute or whatever to manipulate these numbers, okay? Some of these cities and such, they're reporting bad information completely or not reporting at all. And either way, we're not getting a very good idea in terms of what the actual situation looks like in a lot of these cities. So anyway, I'm going to put this podcast, in addition to the article, and link it to a number of other articles. And I encourage you guys to read this information and look at it, because jurisdictions all over the United States they have very disparate reporting systems amongst police departments. There is no single one type of system or technology or operating system or back-end operation that they're using. So the way one department reports is different from the way the other department reports. And it seems like the cops and the police officers, they may or may not even report. They may or may not even take responsibility for giving accurate and timely information so that it can be compiled and given to the FBI, the Justice Department, or the Centers for Disease Control and such. So that's something definitely needs to be addressed. And if it's not addressed, then obviously we don't need to rely upon those people. You know, you replace people, you replace departments, you get competition in there, and then we'll be able to see what it's like to actually have good, timely, accurate information. And I encourage you guys to read my article on spot crime, because they actually, spot crime is spot.crime. They actually take a lot of this information and they get it from police departments who are cooperating and have that information in a format where it can be made available to the general public, so we can all see what's going on in particular areas to make good decisions based upon where we want to live, work, and go to school and all that. But if the police departments aren't compiling that information and presenting it in a way that makes it easy to include in the databases of companies like Spot Crime, then of course they have something to hide. Those are the ones that don't want to cooperate. Those are the ones that are probably not reporting hate crimes and the offenders and the different people involved. So anyway, as we like to say at the conclusion of every podcast, We want you to keep your eyes and ears open, and we want you guys to be safe out there. Okay? Have a good day. Thank you. Take care, and bye.